weeds, what are some of our options? Well, you could get on your hands and knees and pull the weeds. It can take you a while in some cases. My yard's not too bad. As you can tell, looks pretty good. Another option, and probably a more desirable option, is for you to use a pre-emergent. And a pre-emergent is something that you need to use prior to the seeds germinating. And that usually happens when the ground is getting above 60 degrees. For us here in the Middle Tennessee, Nashville area, that means that we need to get it in place before early spring. For me, I've had really good success with doing it in late January, and that seems to be working really well for me. But you need to figure out, based off of where you live, what works for you. And it's all based off of making sure that you get those granules in the ground sometime within the 6-week period prior to those seeds germinating. If the seeds germinate after that 6-week period, then you kind of missed your mark. If they germinate before you get those granules down, then you're out of luck as well. Now, no matter what you do with, as far as pre-emergent is concerned, you're always going to have some crabgrass. I haven't had crabgrass right up until the end of the season. As most of you know, I had surgery on my Achilles and haven't been able to really take care of my lawn that much. And so I haven't been able to put down the chemicals that are needed. When you go to the big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's, and you see these weed killers that say that it will kill crabgrass, that's sort of true. When you look at the label, you're going to see a chemical called quinclorac, and that actually will kill crabgrass. However, it won't kill the crabgrass if it is in a more mature state, at least not in those doses. You're going to want the concentration to be above 50% of the total volume of the chemicals. You can get as high as 75% if you go to some of these commercial sites, and that's where I'd recommend you go and look. The other option is for you to use something that I'm going to show you, which is called, that is this little guy right here. It's called Tenacity. So with Tenacity, you have the ability to kill weeds without killing your lawn. That's the same thing with the quinclorac. It does the exact same thing. It'll keep you from having to mow down your lawn with a bunch of stuff like Roundup or whatever that's just going to kill everything. So with Tenacity, you've got a couple different things you're going to want to use with it. You're going to want to use your surfactant. You break up the water tension. That's all that surfactant is doing. It's just breaking up the water tension, and it's keeping the water from beating up on the leaf. Because the way that this stuff really works is through leaf absorption. It's going to work in the roots as well, but unless it's absorbing through the leaves, it's really not going to work very well. And then the other thing that I would use is this guy right here, which is a lawn dye. And the reason why is because you're going to use, hang on, I'll be right back. This guy right here. Yeah, just got it. It's pretty, isn't it? But it's going to be a big pump sprayer. So you're going to want to put all three of those into a bucket. You're going to want to use an agitator. You can use one of those paddles that you put in a drill and agitate it that way. You can just use a big stick for all I care. But you're going to put all that stuff together, put it in a pump sprayer. You're going to go out back. I'll show you how to put all that stuff down. You're going to want to use one of these tips. See that little guy right there? I think you can see it. But that is going to be a fine mist. It's going to leave a line. You can be able to see where it is. The reason for the dye is so that you can see exactly where you put the stuff down. So for me, on my project area over here, you're going to see it's mostly bare spot. So I don't really need the dye, but I did mix it because I want to see how that works. And the reason why I don't need the dye is because I'm putting it on dirt and I can care less how much I put on there. But if you're going to put it on a lawn that's healthy, you do want to know where you put it because you only want to go one stream. Don't sit there and keep spraying it because you're just going to kill everything. So you're going to want to do that. So what's the mixture? How much should I put in? And I can list that out for you guys. But in a bucket, for every 2 gallons of water, you're going to use 1 tablespoon. Well, I'm sorry, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon of this stuff. And it comes with this little syringe. Hang on. Comes with this little syringe. and it's all measured right there in teaspoons. So 1 teaspoon of this, 1 teaspoon of the surfactant, and then, I'm sorry, 3 teaspoons of surfactant and 4 teaspoons of the lawn dye. Again, if you're just putting on bare dirt, just make sure you use the 2 gallons, the 1 teaspoon, and the 2 teaspoons of the surfactant. Agitate that sucker up, and then put it into your. Hopefully you got something a little smaller than this. I'm actually going to invest in something smaller because this thing is just ginormous, and for the amounts that I was using, it was overkill, to put it mildly. Spray that down. I already did. I got another video another clip that I'm going to actually add on to this that'll show what I did the other day. Let's see what happens. Now, what you're hoping that's going to happen is you're going to look and see the plant start dying, the crabgrass, that is. You're going to see that dying. And the way you can tell that it's dying is kind of cool because it actually turns into almost like a paper white. And that basically tells you the plant's dead and you're good to go from that point. So I'm going to watch this for a few days and then we'll get back to you and I'll be able to show that video and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. All right, well, it's been just under a week, and I would say that the Tenacity has really done its job. If we look really close, you can see how the leaves are all bleached out, and you can kind of see what it does to the Bermuda, even though I kind of sprayed it a little thick here. Because I was trying to get the nozzle to work right. All right, you see my wife is actually pulling some of this stuff. Make sure that you grab it really deep. If you can see some of this soil. Like this is what I did when I originally planted it. You can see the compost on the top. There's a bunch of sand underneath, so it's a good sandy base layer, and then compost on top. But obviously, it was just a bad time of the year to try and plant grass. Now that it's getting cool, even though it doesn't feel cool today, now that it's getting cool, we're gonna go through and plant some fescue. And I think I'm gonna stay away from the ryegrass for now. But yeah, most of the stuff will just come right out. But it's obviously a mess right now. All right, so when we come up to the test area on the Bermuda, it actually doesn't look too bad. You can definitely see the crabgrass is definitely bleached out, and then that right there is all Bermuda, and it seems to be okay. I'm not too terribly concerned. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like over the next couple days, but I can definitely see where it is killing the crabgrass and the undesirable stuff. And I'm gonna probably test this on a bigger area. But for now, I'd say that it's a success. I think Tenacity is the way to go, and we should continue to work with it. Well, that's it, folks. That's our test. We are done. And hope you enjoyed this video. I'm probably gonna be doing more Tenacity on a test lawn that I'll be starting here pretty soon, and I'll share that in another video. So if you like what you saw today, and over the last week actually, make sure that you like the video and you subscribe if you want to continue to see stuff like this. Hope you all have a great weekend. Bye.